viewers, we are here live for your NFL free agency live analysis, live reaction, and of course, live news. So I'll be here for a lot of the day to discuss the latest in the NFL here today. The window has opened for free agents to sign, and now I wait to see what happens. I wait to see who signs. I wait to see what goes down in the NFL. You never quite know what's going to happen on this day, so we will find out. But what's going on, everybody? Let me know how you're doing. Let me know how you're feeling. I've got my TV on NFL Network. I've got my phone right here, ready for updates. And I have my trusty notebook right beside me, right here. You see my trusty notebook? NFL Free Agency 2022. So I'll be writing down the latest signings. And if you guys have never been here live with me before, how this operates and how this works is when there's news, I react to it. I break it down as if it's a video. And then I have fun with you guys and answer questions. So sparingly, I'll be just basically doing a video to you live, and you guys can also let me know what you think about all the moves that are about to happen in the NFL. So if you Gronk, spike that like button. Also, if you haven't already, Gronk, spike that notification bell. I'm sure many of you already have it on, but if you don't, then make sure that you do. Tom says, what's up? What's up, Tom? How you doing, man? Colton says, when does free agency start? Free agency officially is open for, I believe they call it the tampering period, but I just call it the start of free agency because really this is when free agency starts. Who should the Eagles sign in free agency, asks Sam. So I think the Eagles should sign a wide receiver if they can. They re-signed Jason Kelce, so their offensive line's in good shape. They weren't able to land a quarterback, so I think what you do is with your 3 first-round picks, you surround Jalen Hurts with a good team and find out if he's the guy. It appears they don't love him as their future, their franchise. So just build the rest of your roster up. Defensive line, linebacker. I think linebacker could certainly use some work. I think safety could use some work. I think corner could use some work. So we will see what happens. The New York Phenom says Allen Robinson is officially a Patriot. Well, that is not the case quite yet, I don't think. I do see the first signing of the day. The first signing of the day appears to be Alex Cappa signing with the Cincinnati Bengals on a 4-year, $40 million contract. Okay, so let me just write that down. And I'm sure that a bunch of things are going to come out right now. I'm frozen. How am I frozen? I'm fine. Alex Cappa. So that means Tom Brady loses both of his guards. Okay, guys. So I'm going to start with that. Alex Cappa to the Cincinnati Bengals. I should be fine, guys. I'm not sure why it would say I'm frozen. I'm not frozen on my screen, so. Okay. So, let's go. We got our first signing, Alex Cappa to the Cincinnati Bengals. Let's just fix something first, and then I'll get going with that. Okay. All right. The Cincinnati Bengals have found a new guard to protect Joe Burrow. Alex Cappa of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will be a Cincinnati Bengal, signing a 4-year, $40 million contract. So now Tom Brady doesn't just lose Ali Marpet to retirement, but he also loses Alex Cappa to the Cincinnati Bengals. We knew that the number one thing that the Bengals were going to address was going to be the offensive line. They needed to upgrade the offensive line to help protect Mr. Joe Burrow. If they have a future, it's by protecting Joe Burrow. They don't want an Andrew Luck situation. And the Cincinnati Bengals are a team that made it to the Super Bowl. But many people would say, hey, was that a little bit fluky? So you got to improve your team before this upcoming season to remain that top contender in the AFC. That's exactly what Cincinnati has done here, signing a young guard, Alex Cappa, who I personally think is extremely underrated and undervalued. Very solid player the last few years for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And while he has not been a superstar, a part of that offensive line, you think about names like Ali Marpet, the opposite guard, Tristan Wirfs, and also Ryan Jensen. Cappa has gotten not a lot of attention, but he is young. He's going to be able to grow with this offensive line. And the thing that I love about him, he's aggressive, he's tough, he's physical, he is powerful, he moves people, and he is an old school offensive lineman. He is going to overpower you, he is going to outwill you, and he is a just downhill destroyer. And that is exactly what Cincinnati's getting here. So not only does it help Joe Burrow, protect Joe Burrow, but also it helps Joe Mixon in the running game. So Alex Cappa goes to the Cincinnati Bengals, 4 years, $40 million. I think an underrated guard to help protect Joe Burrow. All right, that's your first signing of the day, and that's how this is going to work, guys. Once I hear that there's a signing, I'm going to break. If you enjoy that button, it looks like that's the only signing so far. Let's check if something has happened. I've got every single person on the noties right now, on the notifications. So, let's see. The Panthers are cutting pass rusher Morgan Fox. That's interesting because they don't have a lot of depth in the interior of their defensive line. So we'll see how that works out for them. You can't officially sign anybody until Wednesday, but that's not how the NFL works, really. They kind of don't follow their own rules. Detroit re-signed Alex Anzalone, in case we have any Lions fans in here, so that's interesting, I guess. He actually played pretty well for them last season. Teams are reportedly contacting the Patriots about Shaq Mason. Yes, I saw that as well. I don't think they're going to trade him, but I will say that his contract is movable. Certainly a contract that you could trade if you wanted to. We'll see, though. I don't know if they will. They like Shaq Mason quite a bit. So I doubt they trade him, but I don't think it would be a bad move necessarily if they were to trade him, just because you could. Contract is 2 years, $12.6 million. Okay. It's really bright. I don't know why. Trying to fix that. Nope. Okay. All right. Killin' Boy says, what's up? What's up, man? Lenny says, Chase Edmonds, let's effing go. Yeah, Edmonds to the Dolphins. I don't know why you're so excited about that. Are you a Dolphins fan now? Raiders going to shock the world. All right. Let's break down Chase Edmonds. Let me know if you guys think it's too bright or something. I think it's probably fine, but I don't know. It's bugging me a little bit. Anyways, let's go. There is a new running back in Miami. The Dolphins now have Chase Edmonds on their roster for Mike McDaniel to play with in that backfield. That is going to be fascinating to see how he utilizes Chase Edmonds as a runner and a receiver. One of my personal favorite running backs in the NFL. 2 years, $12.6 million. A pretty solid contract for a very underrated player, in my opinion. He probably hasn't ever taken the full role as a starter, but I don't think that's truly what he's going to be for the Miami Dolphins. I think what he's going to be is a electric playmaker in a pretty big role, but not like an every down role. Edmonds is, like I said, a very talented, first and foremost, receiving back. He has great ability as a route runner from the backfield. You can line him up in the slot. You can put him on the outside, and he can run routes like a wide receiver. He's also electric in the open field. He is very elusive, makes people miss, can cut on a dime. Does not have, that extra burst of elite speed, but he does have good speed. He's on the smaller side, but he is somebody that is going to be able to be very efficient with his carries. He's not going to be a consistent grinder, but he will be able to pop a few big plays in a game, in rather the running game or the receiving game. Chase Edmonds, 2 years, $12.6 million to the Miami Dolphins. A new weapon for Mike McDaniel and this new Dolphins team and offense to play with. A player that is going to help Tua as a screen player, as a runner. The Dolphins needed to upgrade their backfield, and they've done so with Chase Edmonds. All right. Edmonds. Tyrone, what's up? Lucky Days says Patriots are interested in DJ Chark. Yes, they are. I'm going to be interested to see if they sign him. TB12 coming back, baby. Yes, sir. Lenny says, I think the Dolphins needed a pitching staff. You never know what the deal is there. It's also 6.1 guaranteed. Yeah, that's a pretty good contract. I mean, I didn't expect them to go with Edmonds. I thought they would go with, more of a speed back, but Edmonds does fit the system as he played with Cliff in Arizona, and just a talented player. I think, with all of the screens and short passing stuff that they're going to have to do with Tua, I think somebody like Edmonds is definitely worthwhile to sign for sure. Who will the Colts end up with? I don't know, but they've got a lot of money. I would expect them to sign at least one corner, maybe two. I think that they're going to look to sign a pass rusher. I think they're going to look to make sure that their offensive line is ready to go. A left tackle they need. Right guard they need. Wide receiver, I think they're certainly going to be interested in that market as well. Killin' Boy says the Bucs will be in the Super Bowl. I wouldn't doubt that. Who will the Ravens sign? I think you asked that already. I think that they're going to look to sign a right tackle. I think they're going to look to sign a safety maybe, linebacker possibly, and then their own free agents. I don't know if Calais Campbell or any of those guys are going to want to come back. One more free agent now available. The Browns are releasing Jarvis Landry. Okay. So Amari Cooper arrives for Cleveland and Jarvis Landry departs. Interesting. Why does the stream keep freezing, guys? Are you I don't know what I can do there. Because for me, it's working totally fine. So let me see. Let me change my internet real quick, if that will help. How is it now? Is it better now? Is it okay now? I'm not sure what's going on, guys, because like I said, it's not freezing on my end, so. Is that better? Let me know in the comments, please. Tom says, let's go Commanders. What's up, Big Al? How you doing, man? Hello? Anybody there? Hello? What's going on, guys? Let me know if it's all good. I'm not sure what's going on, but Browns released Jarvis Landry. It's the latest. If you guys have any questions or anything, let me know. What's up, Tyler's World? Tyler's World, how's the stream looking, man? Is it fine? People are saying it's freezing. I'm not sure what's going on here. James Conner returning to the Cardinals on a 3-year deal. Nice. He deserves it. He played very well. I was a doubter, non-believer in James Conner. He played really well last year for the Cardinals, so he definitely deserves a contract. For Jarvis Landry, the Bills, the Chiefs, and the Ravens are teams to watch, apparently, according to Doug Kide. I don't think the Patriots will be interested, but we will see. Who do you think Washington will sign? It's a good question. So they got their quarterback now. I think they're out on Brandon Scherf. I think they're going to let him walk. So I think they're going to look for alternatives on the offensive line, lower tier names. I think they could look for a wide receiver, but they kind of addressed that with Curtis Samuel. On the defensive end, I think linebacker for sure. Corner is a possibility. Safety for sure. So linebacker and safety I would look out for. I think those are the first and foremost moves that they might make. And then maybe offensive line. But they don't have a ton of needs, to be honest with you. Okay, thank you guys for letting me know if it's fine. Appreciate it. Thank you. Sorry, I don't know what's going on. I guess it was the internet. I don't know. I just changed the internet. Apparently it was sparking or something. But I appreciate you guys letting me know. If you have any questions about your team as we go from signing to signing, I'm totally cool answering any questions about your team, the needs for your team, potential signings, any rumors. I'll be sure to add to the conversation here. But when a news breaks, I'll get to it and I'll break it down. So far we have Alex Cappa signing a 4-year, $40 million contract with the Bengals. We have Chase Edmonds signing a 2-year, $12.6 million deal with the Dolphins. Those are the two moves that I have seen. We also have Jarvis Landry being released. We have James Conner re-signing. But those are the two big signings of the day so far. Landry has his eye on the Chiefs, according to multiple sources. So look out for Landry to potentially be the new slot receiver for Patrick Mahomes. I think that would be a great signing by the Chiefs. I think that's exactly what they need. Somebody like Jarvis Landry. Apparently the Patriots are showing interest in Marquise Valdez-Scantling. Interesting. The Raiders are preparing to make a big contract offer for J.C. Jackson. We'll see what happens there. Emmanuel Ogbah also re-signed with the Dolphins, in case you missed that. Good player. Just scrolling through the Twitter. What's up, Mark? How you doing, man? How do you feel about the Alex Cappa signing, man? Any news on Garoppolo? Because he's got to go in the next 2 days. Actually, the news is that he might not get traded until training camp. That's the news, which I find very interesting. Who should the Eagles sign? I answered that question. Who should they sign? Like specific players? Why not bring back Jordan Hicks at linebacker? I think that would be a good move. Bring back Jordan Hicks at linebacker. Bring in Marcus Williams or Marcus May at safety. One of those guys. I'd like them to sign a corner. Although Eagles fans have brought some pushback on that for some reason. Wide receiver. Try to be in on one of the top names. Allen Robinson, if you can. I don't think he's wanting to go there, but there are some names out there that they could look for. Christian Kirk, maybe. Where do I see J.C. Jackson going? It does appear that he's going to go to the Chargers. I think they're probably just working that out. Is it frozen again? Seriously? I hope not. Are you guys playing with me right now? Tom says, I wish they would sign J.D. McKissick. Tyler's World says, will the Saints get anybody? Maybe Deshaun Watson. I think that's what they're seeing, because they got to see if that's going to happen first before anything else, right? That's my guess. Is they got to see if that's going to happen before anything else. JC to the Chargers, yeah. It does appear that JC is going to go to the Chargers. That would be my guess. Other teams, maybe the Bengals, maybe the Raiders. Those are probably the top three contenders. Now that the Bengals signed Alex Cappa, I guess they do have enough money to sign Jackson. I just think, I don't know. Are you serious that it's frozen? Really? Are you kidding me right now? Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what to do, to be honest. Bengals news. They signed Alex Cappa. $4 years, $40 million. Guard, Tampa Bay Bucks. Good player. I broke it down earlier if you want to see. Is it okay? I don't know, guys. Sorry. I don't know what's going on. This never happens, so I don't know. It's frustrating. Did James Conner re-sign? He did re-sign, yes. I'll look for the contract there. It's right here. Tom Pelissero reports, and then it got removed from my screen because there's so many tweets. Okay, James Conner signs a 3-year, $21 million contract. That includes $16 million over the first 2 years. A healthy payday for his 18-touchdown debut in Arizona. Adam Kaplan reports that the Bears are a team to watch for Marquise Valdez-Scantling. Edmonds is a one-cut runner, perfect for the McDaniel system, says assistant coach. Packers free agent Marquez Valdez-Scantling has a strong market. The Raiders, Bears, 49ers, Colts, and Texans have shown interest in the wide receiver, according to Doug Kide. So I'd expect Marquez Valdez-Scantling at some point to get his deal done. He has a big market, looks like. What's going on, everybody? Nice to see everybody joining up. Only a couple signings so far, though. We got Alex Cappa and Chase Edmonds. We've had a couple releases. Jarvis Landry released. We also had James Conner re-sign with the Cardinals. Jarvis Landry is getting some interest from the Chiefs, it appears. If you guys haven't already, make sure that you do Gronk spike that like button. It does help this video. It helps other people find it. It helps the algorithm. You would really be helping the channel if you do Gronk spike the like button. Also subscribe if you're new. Lucky Day says teams are reportedly contacting the Patriots about Shaq Mason. Yes. Talked about that already, but I don't think they're going to move him. Which defensive moves should the Eagles make? I think that they should sign a safety, maybe a linebacker. I'm not sure. Am I going to have to finish this stream and come back because everyone's saying this thing gets frozen every 5 minutes? I don't know, guys. I really don't know. So weird. Why? Some people are saying it's fine and some people are saying it's not. D says Jags. Nothing for the Jags yet. I don't know what's going on. It appears that you guys are quite a far bit behind me, though. I'm just going to look at this. Where do I think Williams, the safety, is going to? I could see the Jets. I could see the Eagles. I could see the Lions. There's a number of teams I could see. It looks like it's fine, guys. I'm not sure. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, guys. Afix says Zadarius Smith released 2. Where do you think he goes? Zadarius Smith, that's going to be interesting. I think quite a few teams could be interested in him. I could see the Giants, the Falcons, the Patriots, the Broncos, the Bucks. Who else? The Ravens. Did I sleep last night? Yes, I did. Not very long, but I did. Who should sign Landry? The Chiefs. That makes perfect sense to me, honestly. What's up, you wish? How you doing, man? He says How about Tom Brady's rejuvenation? Yes, sir. It's going to be interesting. What's up, Matthew? How you doing, man? Daniel's a 2-month BLV subscriber. I really appreciate that, Daniel. Thank you so much, man. If you want any content, I know I feel bad when I don't put anything out for you guys exclusively, but if you guys want anything, members out there of the channel, do let me know. I will make like videos for you or post certain things. Yeah, I did make a Brady video if you guys want to check that out. 1 year sub. Thanks, Tom. Gunplay says the hope the Niners make a move today. Yeah. I think they might be a little bit of a mid-tier free agent, low-tier free agent type of team. It's my microphone? Is that what you're... Is it okay? I don't know. Jeez. This is just ridiculous. Asma says, where does Wagner go? I'd like to see him go to the Cowboys or the Ravens. Okay, thank you guys. I seriously, don't play with me. I might just call it quits. If I get too frustrated, I'm just going to go off air and then come back. So, like, if you guys don't want to stream, then keep trolling me, because that's the way to remove me from the air. Shay says, has free agency started? Yes, it started. People are signing. The Panthers have announced that they have released AJ Bouye. Rate the Cappa signing. 1 out of 10. Contract solid. I think it's a good move. Fits a need. Solid player. Young. It's pretty much everything you want. He's not a great player, so there is a little bit of chance there that maybe he's performed better in Tampa than he will in Cincinnati. So there's a little bit of risk, but I would say it's a solid like 7.5 out of 10. It's like a good B+. Yeah, Shay, they put a certain date on free agency, but a couple days before every year, they open up negotiations. And it's basically like a tampering window where you can start to talk to players. Nothing's fully like 100% guaranteed to happen, but it's like 99.9%. Like they have it in pencil and not pen. Who would you want to play for the Giants? They suck. Oh, who would want to play for the Giants? I would play for the Giants if I was in the NFL. The Giants are a cool franchise. Why wouldn't you want to play for the Giants? Also, new regime, hope. Do you think the Patriots have enough money to get some decent players? Yes. And if they need to make some restructures and move some contracts and money, they can do that as well. I am just really intrigued now that we basically know J.C. Jackson's not coming back. I'm intrigued to see how they counter that, how they like work off of that, and how they sign other positions. I think they're looking for a receiver. Preston says, who's Deshaun Watson going to? It probably is going to be the Panthers, but it could also be the Saints. Steelers need to sign Bobby Wagner. It would be nice for them. I think they could definitely use him, but I don't know if they have enough money. Why didn't the Patriots not re-sign J.C. Jackson? I don't know. Bill doesn't really like paying players a ton of money. Maybe he feels he's going to be outpriced or overpriced. Shay says, hope the Bills get Chandler Jones or Fletcher Cox. Well, those would both be great moves. They're both great players, so yeah. what are the biggest signings? So far, there's only 2 signings. We've got Alex Cappa, 4 years, $40 million, the guard from the Bucs to the Bengals. Chase Edmonds, running back. If you play fantasy, you probably know who he is. Chase Edmonds, 2 years, $12.6 million to the Dolphins. So Mike McDaniel gets a running back. The Jets and the Jags were offering contracts to James Conner before he signed. James Conner re-signed with the Cardinals, by the way. What are your thoughts on the Russ trade? I made a video about it. You could go check it out, Shay, if you like. I broke it down, but my overall thoughts are I thought Denver got I thought Seattle got good value for Russ, but I think it's a great move for the Broncos to go all in for a quarterback. You know, whenever you can get an elite player such as Russell Wilson, you do it. I think it makes the Broncos a very compelling team. I'm not sure if they're quite as good as some people think they'll be, but I think they're going to be really darn good. And Russell Wilson, I'm happy for Russell Wilson that he's out of Seattle because I think a lot of times he was kind of dragging Seattle. What's up, Natasha? Can you rate the Wentz signing? I would say it's like a 5 out of 10. Derrick Henry or Jonathan Taylor? If it was me and I had to pick one right now, moving forward, I would take Jonathan Taylor. As good as Derrick Henry has been in the past, I think Jonathan Taylor is younger. And maybe Derrick Henry is going to start to bring with him some injuries. What do I think about the GOAT Tom being back? I also made a video on that if you want to check that out as well. But I love it. That's awesome. I'm excited. I don't think he was ready to leave. I was not ready for him to retire yet just because we didn't see the retirement tour and he played too well last year. You can't retire after almost winning the MVP. Should have won the MVP, by the way. But that's just me. Matthew says, I hope the Giants sign James Daniels. Yeah, that would be a great move. He's a very good player. We will see, though. I don't know if they have all the cap space to do that, though. Maybe. What did... Somebody said something. Tyler's World says, did you see that Roger Saffold got released? I saw that. I didn't say it yet on the stream, but yeah, he got released as well. That's interesting. I think the Titans, that's a good player. That's a good guard. If a team's looking for a guard, like I think if the Bucs were looking for a guard, that's somebody that they should target, Roger Saffold right there. James says, I'm excited to see my guy Tom back. I just wish he was on the Niners. I wish he was on the Niners too, man. I've wanted him to play with Kyle Shanahan as well, and I haven't been the biggest Bruce Arians fan. I think a lot of their success in Tampa has been because of Tom Brady and not necessarily due to the coaching staff. But, hey, it is what it is. At least he's playing. How much will James Daniels get? Well, Alex Cappa got $10 million. So I would assume about that, maybe more. I think he's better than Alex Cappa, so I would assume about $12 million a year or whatever it was. Like if Alex Cappa is 4 years, $40 million. This isn't necessarily how it works, but let's just say like you add another 2 per year, so like 4 years, $48 million instead. Like I don't know, something like that. So like $12 million a year, I think. As an Eagles fan, the only guy I want is Allen Robinson. You think it's realistic? It is realistic. I haven't really seen the Eagles pop up when people are talking about Allen Robinson, though. So I will say that. I haven't really seen, like, the Eagles are interested in Allen Robinson. I haven't seen that much. I could be missing some of that information. But I do think it's realistic. They should go after a wide receiver. I think their rumors are they're interested in adding a wide receiver, and Allen Robinson is a good player. I don't know, it'd be interesting to see what he signs for. He might end up getting a little bit overpaid based on Chris Godwin, not being a free agent anymore. Devontae not being a free agent. Some of these guys that have been already picked up, Mike Williams, etc. But I'm intrigued to see Allen Robinson go to a team with a quarterback stability. And maybe that's the part with Allen Robinson where he might not sign with the Eagles because Jalen Hurts is not exactly the most stable quarterback in the world. I think him going through Jacksonville and then going through Chicago, I think he probably wants to go somewhere where there is a prime-time quarterback. Sam says he thinks the Eagles should get Juju. I think that would be more realistic. But I do think a lot of teams are going to be interested in Juju. He's still pretty young. And he's got some upside. And as a number 2 or number 3 receiver, I think he would be really good. I just don't like him as a number 1 receiver. That's my only problem with Juju. And I think out of Pittsburgh, it might help him kind of get rid of his weird image of TikToking and doing weird things that he does. He just does weird, look at me type things all the time. The Bears and the Browns are interested in Christian Kirk. Am I doing a March Madness bracket for the group? I think there's one going on in the Discord. I'm just doing one with my friends, at home here in BC. I don't think I'm doing one for the channel, though. Nick says, who do you think JC signs with? My guess is the Chargers. Thoughts on Jarvis going to the Bucks? I don't hate it. I do think that Jarvis Landry, I have a different take than a lot of people. A lot of people seem to think he's still a very good player. I'm a little bit on the lesser side. I don't think he's great anymore. I think his legs are a little bit shot. I think he's lost some speed and some ability to break tackles and just his quickness and all of that, where I think he was so good in the past. If it was at a manageable 1 year, 2 year deal for a decent contract, then I would be willing to do that. I don't know necessarily if he's what the Bucks need, though. I'd be looking for the Bucks to go after Odell or something like that. I think they need an AB type player. I don't think they're going to get AB, but somebody that can play on the outside and on the inside and has some quickness and some downfield ability. I think they already have that middle of the field guy with Chris Godwin. That's just my opinion, though. I think Jarvis is a solid player at this point. I don't think he's what he used to be. I disagree with people that think he's still a good player. I think he's, let's say, he's a top 64 receiver. I don't think he's a top 32, which would be a number 1. Probably a top 60 receiver now. Which was, by the way, the opposite of my take with Odell. My take with Odell was, so I don't blame Baker for Jarvis Landry. I blame Baker for Odell. So I had different takes on that spectrum. So this has nothing to do with Baker, just so you guys know. The Browns have done their homework on free agent pass rusher Zadarius Smith. Just got that tweet as well. I'll continue to update you with these tweets as I get them. No signings, though, from what I've seen lately. Lenny says, do the Packers have the most timid organization in sports? You know what the Packers are right now? The Packers are they are so tied to Aaron Rodgers that Like anything that has to happen for Aaron Rodgers, like Devontae Adams getting a long-term contract, they have to do it. Like, they have no choice. Would I rather Odell or Robinson for the Pats? I am biased. I like Odell more, but I think Robinson's safer because of Odell coming off the injury. Odell already leaving the Rams after winning the Super Bowl. Bodo, the problem with the Rams is their money. I don't know how much cap space they have to sign. Because they get Robert Woods back, right? So they got Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp signed to big contracts. And then they've got Odell. Are they going to sign him too? Like, they're going to have to pick and choose who they re-sign. And then with Odell, like, I only think he would leave to teams like... The reason I brought up the Bucs is because it's Tom Brady, and he's always wanted to play with Tom Brady. Like, there's a select teams, the Chiefs, the Packers. I don't think, let's just say, that Odell would choose New England over the Rams. I think that would only be a money thing there. Did Von Miller resign? Not yet. And I don't think he's going to. I think he's going to go to Denver or... Yeah, probably Denver. He's going to probably go back to Denver. Von Miller or Chandler Jones? Ooh. I'm going to go with Chandler Jones. The reason I'm going to go with Chandler Jones is because he has probably more fire at this point to win. And I think Vaughn could probably drop a little bit sooner than Chandler Jones. I know that's kind of a weird reason, but I think that Chandler Jones has this... I think he wants to... He's at the point where he's where Vaughn was last year, if that makes sense. Vaughn just won his second Super Bowl. I don't know how much he's really going out there to ride or die. You know what I mean? I think he's happy. His legacy is set. Vince says, are the Giants going to get under the cap so they can sign some players? I would assume so, but we'll find out. Who do you think Arizona will get? Well, they re-signed James Conner. I would look for them to... It looks like Christian Kirk's going to leave. I think they add a receiver probably in the draft. Defensively, I'd look for them to add a corner. And then... Definitely corner. D-line could use some work. So I don't think they're really going to get anyone huge. Like a big name. But I do think they're going to add some depth at D-line, cornerback. The big signing should come at cornerback. And then offensively, offensive line. Where do I see J.D. McKissic going? If the Raiders don't get James White, I think McKissic would be a good fit with the Raiders. Allen Robinson to the Ravens? I doubt that. I don't think that's going to happen. Van Der Esch probably going to the Texans. That's where I predicted him to go, so I hope so. Just the case I'd be right. Thoughts on the Joseph Noteboom signing? I did not see the contract details for that one. Let me see if I can find the contract details. The Niners are a team being aggressive in the cornerback market, according to NBC. Jags and Lions are working on a deal with Allen Robinson. That's the latest update. Let me see if I can find the Joseph Noteboom thing. Noteboom. Okay. 3 years, $40 million. Now, on the surface, that's a lot. I don't know how the contract actually is in terms of guaranteed money and all that sort of stuff. But 3 years, $40 million seems like a lot for Joseph Noteboom. Like, he's never really had an extended period of starting in the NFL. So it's a little bit risky to me, just based on that contract. But I thought he actually played really well replacing Andrew Whitworth, and it's essential that they replace Andrew Whitworth, and he's the guy to do it. So it's smart that they re-sign him. That just feels like a lot. Okay, we've got a signing. Mitch Trubisky is headed to Pittsburgh. Bodo, you got a new quarterback, Bodo. Mitch Trubisky. Don't leave yet. Do I think the Niners are going to sign Gilmore? Possibly. I'm just going to wait for the contract, and then I'm going to break down Trubisky. Okay, we got Mitch Trubisky to Pittsburgh. What do you guys think? Let me know what you think. Okay, 2-year deal. It doesn't say the money, though. Two-year deal for Mitchell Trubisky to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Still no money. I would assume it's about 10 a year. Maybe less. All right. Let's break down Mitch Trubisky to the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Pittsburgh Steelers potentially have a new quarterback. Mitchell Trubisky, former second overall pick in the 2017 NFL Draft. Mitchell Trubisky. It didn't work out with Chicago, but I've always seen potential in Money Mitch. Trubisky definitely has some athleticism, a stronger arm, the ability to move, and I do believe from all the sources and just watching him in Buffalo throughout the preseason, a little bit of action in the regular season, that Mitchell Trubisky, in a different environment, different situation, Trubisky could still be a starter in this league. Now, am I saying you've got your future franchise quarterback on your hands? Maybe not exactly. But he's definitely the quarterback on the free agency market that I look at and say, if there is a guy that is going to maybe develop into a starter again, and you're willing to take a shot on the potential to be a starter once again, it is Mitchell Trubisky, right? And that is why I like this move. I like this move because Trubisky can come into this situation and compete for this job. Does it mean he's going to be the starter? Not exactly. We have to see what the Steelers are going to do in the draft. We have to see what the Steelers are going to do with the quarterbacks currently on their roster. But Mitchell Trubisky is a signing that I do like. And I think that Trubisky has talent. I think Trubisky has grown as an individual with his time from Buffalo, with his time from Chicago, and I do believe he deserves another chance at being a starting quarterback. So I actually like this move from Pittsburgh. I think it's a savvy 2-year deal, and I do want to see if he can develop and play for the Steelers, right? This is a guy that's been to the playoffs multiple times with a strong defense by his side. It's not like he doesn't have a winning record. It's not like he isn't a winning quarterback in the NFL. Now, has he had his moments that have been disastrous? Yes. But don't let that fool you to say that Mitchell Trubisky is not talented, because he definitely has the talent. And I believe he's been coached up better in Buffalo. But will Pittsburgh be able to coach him up to become their starter? I do have some questions about Pittsburgh's offensive staff and their ability to develop quarterbacks at this stage. But I do think that Trubisky is a wise signing that a lot of people are going to laugh at. A lot of people are going to roll their eyes because of the Trubisky track record and the whole bust label. But I do think that he has the talent, and I do think he deserves that another chance. Plus, he's young still. He's only 26, 27 years old. So he definitely deserves another opportunity to fight for a job, given what he's done, his production, and then also given his upside compared to the other guys on the market. I don't think this solves the Steelers' quarterback situation, but it definitely adds a key element to it moving forward. Mitchell Trubisky to the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think it's fascinating. Let me know what you think in the comment section. All right. Trubisky to the Steelers, guys. That's interesting. Oh! We got a trade! Oh, I thought we had a trade. My bad. The Steelers had been in the mix on Jimmy G with the Niners, but signing Mitchell Trubisky means they are out. The Colts still have interest in Jimmy Garoppolo. If the Niners, Jimmy Garoppolo is traded, it will be to the Colts. Okay. Monica asks, do I think that Rob Gronkowski will stay in Tampa Bay? I do. What's up, Monica, by the way? I think it's been a while since you've been in here. I think. I do think Gronk's going to stay, yeah. You Wish says, Mitch did point out in his interview that he needs to be more aggressive rather than passive-aggressive after being behind Allen. Thank you for that. You Wish. With the Mitch signing, what team do you think picks up Malik? Still think we've got a lot to learn before we know. I could see Seattle, though. Yeah. I like Trubisky. I think he's still got some potential. I'd be willing to roll the dice on him. Oh, thank you, by the way, for the super chat. Whisperer, appreciate that so much, guys, for the super chats. Really, really helps me out. And Bodo as well, thank you so much. $5 each. Thank you, guys. He says, I got nothing to look forward to next season. I guess I'll watch underwater basket weaving next football season. Brandon asks, do you think that the Ravens should go after center Matt Paradis on the Panthers? Paradis. I always say Paradis. Paradis. Matt Paradis. I don't think so. I don't love that fit. I think they should re-sign Bozeman, if it was me. Paradis is a solid player. I'm not sure that he's a great scheme fit, though, for what they do. Why is it freezing? How did it freeze? You guys sure? Do I think Tyrann Mathieu will stay with the Chiefs? I think so, but I'm not 100% sure on that, though. Is it still frozen? Should I just come back, like, go off and come back? There must be a glitch with... There has to be a glitch with, like, YouTube, because I'm totally fine on my end. I don't understand this. I'm going to pull up the stream on my phone. See, like, even the stream on my phone looks fine. I don't know. Is it okay now? This is just really irritating, guys. I'm sorry. It looks fine on my phone. Like, I'm watching it on my phone. It looks fine. I wonder why that's happening. I don't know. Why could that be happening? I don't know what's going on with this frozen shit. It's pissing me off, though. Jimmy's gonna get no trade value, Lenny. What's going on, bro? I need some coffee, too. You guys hear that? Sounds like I'm taking a piss, but it's just coffee. All right.